with the pin of the loom and with the web. And she said to him, how can you say I love you? Tell me if this sounds familiar. Tell me if this sounds familiar. How can you say I love you when your slave is not with me? You have mocked me these 3 times and have not told me where your great strength lies. And it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him so that his being was wearied to the death. Question. What made her a Delilah, or statement rather? Pay attention. What made her a Delilah had nothing to do with sex, with her providing him sex, because the hooker gave him sex, and Yahuwah didn't call the hooker a Delilah. Are you with me?
Yes.
The hooker wasn't called a Delilah because he wasn't in love with her, was he? She was just a piece in his military strategy, wasn't she? She was a tool in his strategy, wasn't she? Like all the other women that were strategically placed in his life. So the question is, since he's sleeping with all these Philistine women, why was she Delilah and no Eos? Why was she Delilah? It had nothing whatsoever, am I still preaching good, Chris? Had nothing whatsoever to do with sex. But be honest with you, Sunday school mentality, right? What's the first thing we think of? Delilah enticed him sensually so that he would allow his hair, right? No. Let's continue. Sex is not what's going on here. What is going on here, making her a Delilah, listen carefully please, was her ongoing duplicity and her continual daily manipulation and nagging.
You need to say that.
Any woman who daily manipulates and nags and says, do you love me, you don't love me, you know you don't love me, if you love me you would, you could, you should, but you don't because you don't. If it's nagging, if it's daily, if it's a thorn in his side, ladies, I'm sorry.
You gotta go.
I'm sorry. You are a Delilah.
You gotta go.
You do not get your husbands to please you and to love you by nagging and manipulation.
Witchcraft. That's what that is.
And the great deception is women think that that's how they can eventually manipulating with words daily. Do you love me? Why not? If you love me, you wouldn't deceive me. If you love me, you would tell me where your strength is. So what made her a Delilah was her ongoing duplicity, being a double agent, a spy for the enemy, being used by the enemy to nag and manipulate her husband. Ladies, I want to share something. I want to do some counseling. And I'm not just talking about the ladies in this room, because this may or may not be talking about you. I'm talking about ladies in general. In general. Ladies, if you would like to guarantee that your marriage will be destroyed beyond repair, beyond repair, then here's how you do it. Nag your husband every day about the same things you've been nagging him about for the last 30 years.
Keep nagging. Keep on.
You are destroying your marriage. And worse than that, you're a Delilah. Stop nagging, stop coercing, stop manipulating, and take your husband and pray and say, honey, I'm here with you to pray, to get the mind of Yeshua, to get the ways of Yeshua, so that my nagging and my coercion will not affect your leadership and decision, but my effectual fervent prayers as a righteous woman will affect you, and that's the way I want you affected. I want you affected. I don't want you infected.
Amen.
You listen to me, I'm talking to you. Camera, I'm not looking at you, relax. All y'all in the camera there. You you want him to be affected or infected? And the truth be told, many women would rather him be infected because they get so frustrated when they don't get their way. And then they come up with a whole checklist of things they're doing for the family. That is strange fire. That is a sacrifice of Cain. The Bible says you are created, ladies, you are created to be his ezer kenegdo, his helper. By the Hebrew kenegdo doesn't literally mean being against him. It means appearing before him, against him, meaning before him, to ask him, where do you need assistance? Where do you need help? Not, well, I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and I'm busy doing that, and I'm busy doing this, and I'm busy doing that, and you still don't love me.
That's a witch.
Honey, that is Delilah. That is Delilah. You're doing so many things because, and then the husband can turn around and say to you, well, wait a second, I didn't ask you to do this.
Exactly. Whoops.
Well, that's right. You don't appreciate me because I'm doing these things even when you don't ask me, and that proves you don't appreciate me.
Right.
You never stopped and said, I'm not doing anything other than what will help you and make me your helpmate.
Oh, man.
Try that for a couple of weeks and see if your marriage improves.
Uh-oh. Come on. You preaching good today.
Oh, man.
You're the second person to say that.
Preaching real good.
You tearing it up.
Kicking him in the head today.
So, let's recap. To guarantee that your marriage is destroyed, nag and manipulate as much as you like. No limit. Don't put any limits on yourself. If you want to save your marriage, you want to have hope in your marriage, be his helpmate.
Exactly.
The word says that he will rule over you, but you will be a helpmate. Ezer kenegdo, a helpmate who's against him. So, against him means appearing before him, against him, come to him, appear before him and say, listen, I know you're not going to rule me, I know you're not going to abuse me, I am here to help you. That is Yahuwah's design. That's the way Yahuwah designed me. He put me here to help you, not to set the agenda, not to give you a list of all the things that I've been doing for you and you take me for granted. Does that sound familiar, man?
Oh, yes.
Some of you have only, how many years you and me have read the scriptures thinking that this sensual seductress of the Philistines was there to get Samson, and through her beauty she seduced him to find his strength, the secret of his strength, which was his hair. No. What made her Delilah was her nagging and her coercion and her manipulation. Baruch Hashem, Yahuwah. Let the truth set you free.
Man.
Again, you want to save your marriage, stop the nagging, stop the infection and the daily manipulation with sweet sayings of nothing, I love you, I love you. If you really love him, let him pray with you daily until you have the mind of Yeshua, and the two of you are following the agenda that Yahuwah has for your life. And stop telling him all the things you're doing for him. You're chasing him away. You are chasing him away. Verse 17. That he told her, she kept at it until he told her what? All his lay. Verse 17. Shoftim 16, 17. Told her all his lay and said to her, there has not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a natzerite to Elohim from my Ima's womb. If I'm shaved, my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak, and then be like any other man. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his lay, she sent and called for the rulers of the Plishtim, saying, come at once, for he has showed me all his lay. Then the rulers of the Plishtim came up to her and brought money in their hand. Let's recap, Brother Benjamin.
Yeah.
She fell in love.
Right.
I'm sorry, he fell in love. And as soon as they were in love, she betrayed him by nagging him, and then betrayed him for money. Love money. money, love.
Love of money.
Love.